right down here on the second.
As we arrived here up the upper reaches of the Valle River, we watched a team from Spain catching a keeper. It seems like they're targeting the bigger laydowns. What you can see from that laydown is you see that there's not much of that laydown in the shallower section up against the bank, but all those arms and limbs of that big tree sitting in that slightly deeper water, probably around 4, 5, 6 foot, somewhere around there, and seems to be that the anglers are going to be focusing on that deeper structure. Another team from Spain, again also up the upper reaches of the river, fishing in the slightly dirtier water or slightly stained water. Clearly there's a high concentration of keepers up this area, a lot of boats, all fishing in similar area. Having a chat to the observers early on, you know, thanks to those guys, they're out on the water to observe that there's no altercations, and they're making their job really hard today, but they're giving all the anglers the respect as well. Also keeping far out of the river areas. As it gets up to the top there, it narrows out a lot, so giving the anglers a lot of space to focus on their fishing.
Show the camera there.
The team from Spain putting on a little show for us here, catching another keeper from the edges of that laydown, and seem to be onto something here. Perhaps a good plan. As see, they got both of their boats, you know, sitting on the main lake points as this river inlet reaches the main lake, and maybe with this current and the water flow, that seems to be the deal. If you look at that shot, you see both those teams taking the first piece of heavy cover that they find on these points, and Yeah, picking up 2 fish. Well done, Spain. So we take a steady stroll up the river here. It's interesting to note there's so much structure happening on this river. You know, to try and define what the fish are relating to is just so difficult. You've got big laydowns reaching deeper water. You've got grass, you've got reeds, you've got steeper banks, shallower banks. There's just absolutely chock-a-block with everything. You've even got a clip drift bottle floating down the river. I mean, there's just everything on display here at the Valle. It's unbelievable, and it really takes guys to really key in. You know, take some time to dial it in as to what structure those fish are actually relating to, and it may just be an area-specific thing. I mean, I think it could just be an area that's holding fish, be that they may be on the reeds, be that they may be on the bigger laydowns, but they're just happy with the bait fish that's pushing in from the current or the oxygenated water. It could be as simple as that.
Garlic on your pizza?
You've been slow this morning. Really slow.
Extremely slow. We were hoping there was going to be a bite time about now, and it kind of has, but we've got 2 bites, so just a bit later than yesterday, as we kind of expected, but nothing like yesterday at all, which we also expected. They got a pretty good hard time yesterday, everywhere.
opstaan op de vis. Dan doen ons 'n draai, né? Ons gaan net so 'n bietjie rond. Dan staan ons 'n bietjie daai kant. Kyk vir hulle gesigte. Heel dan. Banana.
Dan kom je hier best. Soms wil je die. Soms kom je op een man terug.
Oké. Beautiful. 10 minutes?
Con Dios.
I'm just going to get him taken off. That's nice.
Hey?
Very nice. The only thing that's missing is just a fish.
Wat ek so snaaks is dit. Just recorded maybe 20 minutes, 10 minutes here. And that 10 minutes can go up all of it.
There you go.
There's another one. Come on. Get bigger. Opstaan op de vis. Dan doen we so draai draai. Ons gaan net so 'n bietjie rond. Dan staan ons 'n bietjie daai kant. Kyk vir hulle gesigte.
As you see in the shot here, we have one of the observer boats on the water. In a high congested area such as this, it's important to have an observer there just to take note that there's no altercations on the water and have a third party neutral perspective. That's what the observers are here to do. The observers are also just to ensure that everybody sticks to sportsmanship and the rules of FIPSED, and we've provided numerous observers on the water here, so thanks to those skippers for being here for 5 days. In the background there, it looks like the team from Italy swinging one in the boat as well. So we're going to stick our distance from these guys. We're going to give them as much room as they need. Just check it on right.
Probably.
You can see the congestion up here in the river section. Looks like one of the SA teams is on the move. That's Team Croatia, just having a quick chat to them, saying they've got one in the box and missed a good one. They feel like they're figuring things out and hoping to bring in a limit this afternoon.
Mm-hmm. You just cut the other one, grey one, find it.
He's going to go back in there, so keep rolling, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You guys okay with the footage going out today? Show the camera for a second if you get a gap. Want to show the camera for a second if you get a gap.
Just that if we think.
Well, we'll take it today. It's Friday. All we have to do.
Ready? Just give me one moment. Okay, ready.
As we catch up with Daryl Quinton and Martin de Kock, say they're battling a bit today, but they've definitely put on a show for us here, catching one for the camera. So don't know if it's us that's good luck for them. Maybe we'll just have to stick around and see if they can get a couple more. Well done, guys. Nicely done.
Keeping it fast, no?
Easy. It's torture.
You see this one look easy, right? Yeah, we're good. Come on!
Hold it up.
Well done, bud. Well done. And then we've all just risen by 300,000 points.
Tell me you got that all.
I fucking got it. Is that a drone? Is that a drone?
No, it's somebody cutting the saw.
I'm joined here by Craig and Niels. They're the 2017 winners of the Sauber Team Tournament Trail. Craig, tell us a little bit about your tournament and how you got to perform in the States.
Yeah, we qualified for, and we won the EBAS Team Tournament Trail, which was in September 2017. We then fished into a national event, which is sanctioned by Sauber, and luckily, we got a first place over there, and we fished the States last year in November, and it was amazing.
So tell us a little bit about the Sauber Team Tournament Trail and how it works.
Okay, so basically you've got all your provinces, Eastern Cape, Western Cape, you've got Natal, you've got Limpopo, Mpumalanga, and obviously Gauteng, all the different team trails. So the top 10 teams of each province, they compete against each other, and that's in the big super final.
So it's much like the national circuit that we fish, except we're not fishing for our Protea colours, we're fishing in a team event, as you guys did. 2 anglers on a boat, 5 fish limits per day, and from there progressing on to the national circuits. So where did you guys fish the national tournament in 2017?
2017 we fished our eBass final on Hayes Hope, and then a month later was the super final where all the provinces compete against each other, and that's the one, the tournament that we won to compete in the States.
So moving on from a super final down here in South Africa, you qualified to go over to the States. A little bit of an intense organization that has to go into getting you guys there. Tell us a little bit about that and how it all rolled out.
Well, I can tell you what first, thanks to Saba as well as eBass, which really came to the party with regards to the professionalism and the commitment on their side. We flew out of Oliver Tambo. There were 3 teams. It was ourselves as well as it was Mike and Glenn, which came second, and Johan van Vielen and Nikki, which also qualified. We landed in Tampa, and from Tampa we drove through to Leesburg, which the tournament was hosted. In the town Leesburg we fished the Harris Chain of Lakes, which is awfully big. We had a 3-day practice, and then we had a 2-day tournament, and it was a large water. It's a big lake, so it was just an amazing event. It was a professional event, and it's something that is an experience of a lifetime. Yeah.
Now, before we get on to the fishing and how the experience was at that tournament and fishing the Harris Chain of Lakes, that's got to cost a pretty penny to get you guys all the way to the States. I mean, how was the sponsorship and the funding for that event?
Well, fortunately we came number 1, and all our expenses were paid. We basically had to sort out our spending money. Our boat was sorted, our flight tickets, our accommodation was all sponsored by Saba, so we are very fortunate about that. Also the entry fee was also covered, so yeah.
Wow, that's a great prize that you're striving for, so a really intense tournament trail. And the rig that you had there, I mean, Harris Chain of Lakes, it's a huge venue. I mean, running miles and miles and miles. Tell us about the rig that you got and all that sort of thing.
The rig that we got, they sponsored us with a Skeeter, 21 foot with a 250 show on, fully rigged out. It was a brand new rig with the Ultrex and all the top of the range finders, and it was an absolute dream to be on a lake like that, especially of that caliber lake. I mean, those lakes are huge. I mean, most of the boats that are running on those lakes are 21 foot, and that was absolutely a highlight of the whole trip. You know what I mean? It's a full prize. It is fully sponsored. So
you didn't get to bring the boat back with you, did you?
I wish we did. I wish we did. I tell you what, we're running on a Thunderbird Zim-built boat over here. Nothing wrong with it, but I tell you what, to experience something of that caliber on such large lakes like that, that boat was just pristine, absolutely pristine. Yeah.
And I mean, the preparation leading up to the event, I'm sure you did your homework from back here. I mean, tell us a little bit about how did you prepare for that event to getting there? I mean, 3 days of pre-fishing, it's not a lot of time.
No, 3 days is definitely not a lot of time. We basically try to Google and YouTube most of the information on the waters, and it is just too big to put into a 3-day practice. Definitely not enough time. But yeah, we basically run and gun the areas. It's a very power fishing type of deal that was on the go there, and I mean swim jigs, the chatterbaits, the rattle traps, which we came onto, I think on day 3 of the practice. We found a little bit of that bite, but tournament day 1 we battled, we did not get big fish, and day 2 we managed to get a 2.5 and a 2.2 kilo and a small 800 grammer. But the rest, the rest of the tournament, we struggled basically to get big fish. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a fantastic achievement, and it's great. Thanks for spending the time with us to explain how it all works out. And we will have a post on the Saba Facebook page leading you to all the eBass and all the rest of the tournament trails around in your local areas. So if you're interested in competing and you want to achieve the goal of moving off to the States, this is the perfect way to do it. And as you heard from the guys, news to me, fully paid, fully sponsored, all covered. What a great prize to work towards. So stay tuned to the Saba Facebook page and we'll bring you more from there.
It's close to the reach.
So we're here on the shoals of the Valle River, and again we have Keith of Lowrance, and Lowrance being a top tier sponsor with us again this year. We're super stoked to have you guys here, but more importantly we're stoked to see the new live unit up here. Keith is going to run us through a few things. I'm going to ask you a simple question, Keith. Why should we choose Lowrance?
Thanks very much, Mark, for having me. Pretty much, Lowrance is a leader in marine electronics currently in the world. We offer 24-hour backup service. All our products carry a 3-year warranty. And we also got our menus are available in Afrikaans for our South African.